Hey, what's going on? It's Berkeley Moses here, solid as a b-ball. Lucky to have with me Anthony Tsegakele from the Brandon University Bobcats. Anthony, thanks for joining me.
Uh, Thanks for having me.
You want to give a small introduction about yourself and just explain a little bit about yourself to the people?
Yeah, so my name is Anthony Tsegakele. I'm a second-year basketball player here at the Brandon University, third year of schooling. I'm originally from Gatineau, Quebec, and I am of Congolese and Gabonese descent.
Nice. So what is your time been like so far at Brandon? How did you end up at the University of Brandon?
The city of Brandon is great. The people here are really nice. So as far as that goes, I've just really enjoyed my time here. Met some great people here. I would definitely say that some of the guys that are going to be at my wedding are definitely coming from this team. And on the basketball side, obviously I've done some decent things, and I'm always pushing myself to do better. But as a team, I think we've struggled a lot in my 2 years here, and we're just working, to change it around and change kind of how Brandon basketball has been seen over the last couple of years. So yeah, but I would say that how I got to Brandon was I played an All-Star game my last year of high school. So just kind of crazy how God does things. So I wasn't even supposed to play in the game, and somebody ended up getting hurt, and then they contacted me, and I was like, yeah, of course I'd love to play. Ended up playing pretty good. Was the MVP of my team. All the way to God, obviously. And then one of my coaches was friends with the scout for the Brandon University for the Quebec side, and then he seen my highlight tape from the All-Star game, hit my coach up, and then after that, Gil started talking to me, and then they had me down for a visit, and after that, I came for my visit, loved it here, and then went home, talked to my mom, prayed about it, and ended up committing here.
That's good, man. That's a great story that you followed your faith and followed your path to get there. With yourself winning Canada West Rookie of the Year, having the individual accolades kind of going for you, what's it been like to balance the success you've had individually with some of the struggles that the team has had as the collective?
Oh no, it's been. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been very hard because, especially like on this team, we have a lot. Like I have a lot of people that I say that are my brothers. I have a lot of people that that I've like we've essentially like kind of grown up together while we've been here, and like you see everybody like working hard in the gym. You see everybody putting the time in, coming to practice, doing the little things right, taking care of the schoolwork. But I would be a liar if I wouldn't say that it's kind of cool to get recognized and have these different things. But
yeah,
like for me, I've never been part of a losing team. I've never been part of a quote unquote losing program, and having recognition while you're losing sucks, and especially when the people beside you are not getting recognized as much, right? So just it's been very difficult, but I think my coach has been doing a good job of trying to keep me level-headed and trying to keep me goal-oriented and trying to keep me in the mindset of just getting better every day, and that the rest is going to get taken care of. So that's just kind of been my mindset.
You seem like a fairly well-balanced and well-grounded person with a good foundation of faith. You mentioned praying through your decisions.
Yes, sir.
You want to talk about how your faith impacts who you are as a man and who you are as a basketball player?
Oh, my faith is it's number one, right? For me, it's like it's literally how can I say this? It's who Anthony Tsegakele is. My believing in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and my faith really has been like the reason why I am today. Because losing my dad when I was 10, and having a mom who herself is really strongly grounded in her faith and who has pushed me to do the same, it's been tremendous, right? So when the ups and the downs, and I know that God's always there for me, and that He has a will for my life, and that He has a plan for my life. So just believing in that and working as hard as I can, and knowing that everything's going to take care of itself, is just kind of been how I've been living my life pretty much.
Speaking of what you're saying, it reminds me. I don't know if you've ever spoke to Kevin Cecile on Ottawa, and
yeah.
He says with his faith, you don't take any games for granted. You know what I mean? Like every time you step on the court, it's like a new blessing. Is that something that you can attest to as well?
Oh no, yeah, I would definitely say the same, and especially I think for a lot of us, especially with the pause year that happened with COVID right now, every game, God forbid, you don't know if it's going to be your last, really. So just every time you step on the court, I think it was really a good reminder of, what Kevin just said, that like every game that you play, it's a blessing. Like a lot of us are playing basketball right now. There's so many basketball players in the world. There's so many people that wish that they were in our shoes. So when you go out there, don't be too cool. Don't think that don't think that you're better than you are. Just go out there, try to have fun, compete, play at a high level, and obviously try to win. So definitely every time you step on the court should be, you should be grateful and be thankful and realize that it's a blessing, not really something that's like that you should get to do, right? It's a blessing.
How have you found your training and stuff during the pandemic? Have you had time to work on your strength and some of the other skill sets with the time away from the court that you've had?
Yeah, for me, I would say that the summer of the pandemic was probably the best summer of working out that I've had in my life, personally. Like, obviously, this pandemic has been tough for a lot of people, like people losing their jobs and losing family members and whatnot. But for me personally, I can say that it was really a blessing because I got to take a step back and work on different things. And even being in Ottawa, in the Ottawa Gatineau area, we have so many good basketball players, and everybody was kind of just stuck there for the summer. So when you go to runs and you have different players guarding you, you have the lane guarding you, you have a Yassine who's there, you have a Locke who's there, who was defensive player of the year in the whole country, you have a Lloyd, you have these different kind of guys, you have a Khalifa, so many names, you have a Boris, great defenders, like you have so many people that are there that even Quincy, you have different guys that are there that play high level basketball, different pros, Johnny, like there's a list of names of guys that were there. So just having those elite, like those high level basketball players being there for me, it was big, and it definitely helped me to, just get better a lot.
You mentioned a lot of the guys you mentioned are from the Quebec area, the Gatineau, Montreal, Ottawa area. And I've talked about it with a few of the players, and we were talking about it before we started the show here. What do you think there's something different about Quebec basketball, where it's kind of been leading the way for the country for these last few years? Like so many players going pro, and like what you guys are doing in the youth sports. Is there something happening in Quebec basketball that the rest of us need to know about, or how would you kind of explain it?
I don't know if there's something happening, but I would definitely say that it's like Quebec's always been, looked at as kind of like, it's Ontario, then it's Quebec. So we've always, I feel like Quebec has just been trying to change that, right? Trying to prove that we're as good or even better than Ontario basketball and that the players that are coming out of there. So I would say that we definitely had a chip on our shoulders for a lot of us. And it definitely pushed us to play at a high level. And whenever we get the chance to compete with those guys, to prove that, that we're better than that we belong.
You see, coming from like Quebec, Montreal, and Ottawa, like diverse metropolitan areas, to move from there to Brendan, Manitoba, how did you deal with that culture shock, or how did you kind of settle it and deal with that?
No, there was a lot of different things for me, and I think one of the funniest things that I always talk about with people is back home, like we don't have plugins for our car. Like here, like it gets so cold that if you don't plug your car in overnight, like in the morning you don't come and turn it on, it's not going to turn on. So
you're not talking about electric cars, by the way. You're talking about
like your car. So just different things like that, right? And having a lot of people with like farm backgrounds, which I'm not used to, obviously, because I'm a city kid and different like that. But I think all in all, it's been good, right, to hear from other people's experiences and see how they've grown up. And I kind of share how I've grown up. And even with some of my teammates, having people from Alberta and BC and different. Oh, sorry, I think I was getting the phone call. But just getting all those kind of things is just having people from different backgrounds. I think it's really good just to share. But definitely, there was definitely a culture shock, and there's so many things but it was definitely a culture shock, and I think you have to get used to it. So yeah.
What are some of your best court memories from your first year, or from your playing time so far? What are some of your best on the court memories?
For me, I would say like kind of how it started for me was my first year playing basketball. We had a really, really good team, and I think it was probably like maybe 14U or 15U, and I was one of the youngest guys on the team. And like I came in as somebody who never played basketball, and I worked my way up to a starting spot. And obviously, looking back, I was trash. I was really bad, but I worked really hard, and I did the little things. And our team, we ended up being provincial champs. So for me, that year was kind of like like obviously I was happy that we won a provincial championship, but I kind of envisioned more for myself, and
Yeah.
it kind of gave me that hunger right the next year, because I was gonna go back with the same in the same age group, because I was a year younger than everyone, and I was like, yo, like we won this year, my first year we were provincial champs, so next year I want to go and be provincial champs again, and that whole summer it kind of pushed me to get better. So I would definitely say that was probably one. Getting recruited to go play at different schools I would say that was definitely another good memory of mine, because I'd only been playing basketball for 2 years or so. So that was a huge blessing, and something that I never forget. Just, getting calls from coaches telling you, obviously coaches, when they recruit you, they want you to come, so they'll tell you everything. But I just think that the work that I've been putting in was paying off. And I would say that getting drafted in the CBL was also definitely a really cool memory of mine, because I don't think too many people can say that they've done that, and that's something I'll always thank God for, because it definitely was not my work, and just getting drafted after not playing, not having a season to play, was definitely a big blessing. And
who has your CEBL rights?
You say what? Sorry.
Who drafted you? Saskatchewan?
The Fraser Valley. The Fraser Valley.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to play for them last year, or how did that go?
I did a little bit towards the end. The first 10 games I didn't dress, and then towards the end I ended up dressing the last 6 games, and I got on the court a little bit, and it was honestly just a great experience, just being around the guys, and just because there were so many pros, right? Because I think one of the cool things about the thing is, if you look at it, it's like everyone on the team is an import somewhere else. Like everyone on the team is usually, when they go play overseas, is the best player on the team, and having all those guys back on one team, just have so many stories, and just so many people with different skill sets, and like everyone kind of savvy in their own way, and just getting to pick the brains of everyone was just a game changer, to be honest. Like there's so many stuff that I didn't know about the pro game, or so many things that I didn't know about what I could do, and so many things that I didn't know that I needed to get better at. So just to be honest, it was just a great all-around experience, something that I'll forever be grateful for, and I thank God for the opportunity.
Yeah, that's a blessing to get drafted and to be able to play professionally, like right in your own country. You know what I mean? As part of your schedule with Brendan, like we were talking about earlier, you have to travel across 4 provinces to play your basketball schedule. What are some of your favorite schools to go against, or some of the gems of Canada that you didn't think you would see, but you've kind of realized through basketball?
No, one thing I did not think that, like, obviously, like, because like when I was getting recruited, my coach would show me like pictures of the crowd and stuff, but I did not know how live people get, if we can say. Like, people, they come out and they show support, and they talk trash to the opposing teams, and they make noise and stuff like that. So I would definitely say that one of the, like, Brandon's probably one of my favorite place to play for sure. Also, I would say Regina is a really, really good school to play in, because they get a lot of fans. Like, especially my first year, like the atmosphere was awesome. Like, I think they probably had like close to 800, like 1,000 people in the gym. So that was awesome. Just competing in front of that many people, and they have a really, really good team too. So that was fun to do. And if I could say one other, I would probably say Victoria, because I played in Saskatchewan, and a lot of people say that they like their home court advantage is really good too, but because of COVID they had restrictions. But the year that we played in the playoffs in Vic, it was a lot of people, and it was a really good atmosphere, and they have a great team, really well coached, a lot of good players. So it's obviously always fun to compete against the better teams in our conference and in our country. So definitely I would have to say those places.
Nice. Well, what are some of your aspirations? How are you hoping to build on, I mean, your college experience and your little bit of professional experience? How are you hoping to build on that in the future? What are you aspiring to do with basketball?
Now, for me, my goal has always been to play at the highest level possible. Now, I don't know what that is for me, but I'm always going to try to, be the best version of myself. Like, as humbly as I can say, like, without trying to sound like I think I'm the ish. Like, I'm always, when I go to practice, my goal is to try to be the best player I can be. I try to be the best player on my team. Every time I step on the floor, is to try to be the best player in the country, be the best player in our conference, be the best player on the floor, try to be the best player in the country. And that's just kind of how I approach the game. Like, I'm always trying to prove to myself and to prove to everyone else that, I like to show that I'm one of the best in the country. And that's just how I kind of look at it. So as far as my collegial career, that's kind of how I've been trying to do. And with playing professionally, always that's been one of my dreams. And I'm just gonna try to strive to play at the highest levels possible. So definitely would say that those are my goals with basketball.
How tall are you now?
6'6".
Would you consider yourself a guard or a forward?
So that's tough, to be honest. My first year when we came in, they asked me what I wanted to put down in the roster, and I put guard/forward.
Okay.
But I don't know. Some people say that some people see me as a wing, some people see me as a guard, some people see me as a guy who can play 2, 3, 4. So I don't know. I just think that I'm not once again, not to toot my own horn, but I think I'm versatile. I can do a lot of different things. I can play the 4. I can rebound the ball really well. I can guard multiple positions. I can handle the ball. So to be honest, whatever system I'm throwing in, I think I can play a lot of different positions.
What NBA comparisons have you heard, or what player comparisons have you heard? Like people compare to you?
So when I was after my first year, I was talking to this one guy, and he's like, yeah, like I really see a lot of like Andre Iguodala in you, because he's like,
Okay.
like you can really like guard different positions. And he was like, yeah, like I see you kind of like as a better scoring Andre. And my coach, he has me watching a lot of Kawhi, because they have me playing a lot of out of the high post, and kind of like out of all those kind of spots. So and then I see, and Kawhi is really good at those spots. So definitely like that's one of the players that my coach has been watching a lot. And just mostly people that play two-way, right? People that play both ends of the court. And this summer they wanted me to look a lot at Mikal Bridges and Matisse Thybulle. So I would say those are kind of things I've been throwing at me. So
nice.
mostly
What's
guys that can
major?
play. My major right now is I'm majoring in econ.
Economics?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what would you do on the economic side if the basketball thing doesn't, like, are you hoping to kind of be in that side, or how do you?
To be honest, for me, my goal's always been and my goal will always be to play professional basketball. And my mom, she's always installed in me that, like,
Yeah,
like there's like plan A is plan A, and plan B, there's no plan B. Like plan B should be plan A, right? So everything you do, go at it 1,000%. And the same way that I go 1,000% on the court, and when I work out, I'm gonna go 1,000% in the classroom, and I'm gonna ask questions and sit in front of the class and do the little things. But for me, my goal has always been to play professional basketball. So I try not to think too much of the other stuff, to be honest.
I don't want to get you in trouble, but what do you think of the economy right now as somebody who's studying the?
Do you want me to speak on that?
All right, we're okay, man. We're okay. I will hold it against you. It's all right.
Yeah, I'll plead the fifth on that one.
All right, that's okay. All right, last question, something fun. Who's your favorite NBA player, or somebody you kind of admire in the league?
For me, my favorite NBA player is DeMar DeRozan. Like, because I used to be a big 2K guy when I was younger. Yeah. And DeMar, I used to play with the Raptors all the time. And like, for me, like, growing up, I was never somebody who shot a lot of threes and things like that. And I kind of, like, the mid-range game was like I used to, like, it just gravitated towards me, right? Like, me being a bigger wing and whatnot. And him, he's probably like 6'7", so we're about the same height or whatnot. And he's athletic, and I'm also athletic, can get up and down the court, like, plays really well in transition. So I just really like DeMar DeRozan. And obviously, I think, like, for me, LeBron's the GOAT. So I also really like LeBron James, but DeMar's my one, and then LeBron would probably be my 1B.
You like the Bulls this year?
I love the Bulls. It's just, the Nets are kind of scary, but, hopefully we can find a way to continue to get better and then take care of those three monsters that are playing with the Nets right now.
What about Milwaukee?
To be honest, I think Milwaukee's really good. Giannis is a problem. Chris Middleton's also a problem. Jrue Holiday is a problem. But I think for me, we're mostly worried about the Nets. And then I think if we get in a, because right now we would have home court advantage against them.
Yeah.
I think if we a 7-game series with home court, I think we could.
Take
Yeah.
Yep. Be interesting. It'll be interesting. All right, man. Yep. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate your time. If you could stick around for a bit. For those whoever watched and made it to the end, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. If you could subscribe to the channel, I'm going to post Anthony's Instagram and the links for him. If you could follow him as well. and show some support and love over there. Appreciate it. All right, man. Thanks. Peace.
Yep. Thanks for having me.